everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to talk about beauty blenders. I'm going to be talking about 3 different sponges and give you guys some insights into how beauty blenders work and how, sponges work and what they do for makeup application and things like that. The first sponge that I'm going to talk about is the Beauty Blender. This is by Beauty Blender. Yes, there is a brand called Beauty Blender, and this is the original Beauty Blender that they made. It comes in a few different colors. It comes in this pink, it comes in black. They also made a nude Beauty Blender. There are different types of Beauty Blenders that Beauty Blender makes. So this one is the original one, and this one's just your standard Beauty Blender, just it's egg shaped, as you can see, and then it comes to a point at the top. I will insert pictures of the different sponges that I talk about today over here so you guys can see what they are up close. But yeah, this is one of my favorite beauty blenders because it's really great to blend out your concealer or foundation. It blends it out flawlessly. I really like it. You have to get them wet. They don't normally come this big, like they're not this big when you get them in the package. They're really small. When you put water on them, they get bigger. So this is the Beauty Blender full sized, and as you can see, it's quite spongy, it's quite soft, and that's what I like about the Beauty Blender is that it's very soft and it's not too harsh on the face, and it's not going to leave your foundation streaky or your concealer streaky at all. I really like that about this specific sponge. And you can get these at Sephora, and they retail for $20. And they also have made different types of beauty blenders over the years. They've made ones for like the cheeks, the flat sponges that are for blotting oil throughout the day. So if you're oily, you can use that to take away excess oil. And yeah, they've really expanded the range of beauty blenders, so it's not just this guy anymore. The one thing that I find kind of annoying about beauty blenders is that they soak up a lot of product. However, if you put on too much, foundation or concealer, then it'll take that away. It'll take away any of the cakiness. And the next sponge that I'm going to talk about is also very popular on YouTube and in the makeup industry in general. This is the Real Techniques Beauty Blender, and this one is different from the original Beauty Blender because this one has a flat surface, as you can see right there. I will insert a picture of it right here, and it also has the same point that the Beauty Blender has. People say that this is better than the Beauty Blender because it doesn't soak up as much product as the Beauty Blender does. It does the same thing. You can use it to blend in your foundation or your concealer and bake with it. I use it to bake underneath my eyes. It does a really great job of that. It also does a really great job of blending out concealer and foundation. And it comes in this color. I don't think it comes in any other colors like in this type, this shape. But it came out with like a diamond shaped one and a purple one. I haven't tested those out yet. If you guys would like to see a demo on those, let me know in the comments, and I would love to do that for you guys. But yeah, this is one of my favorite sponges ever. I don't know what it is about this sponge, but it retails for $5, and you can get these at Ulta or Walgreens, and they also come in a pack at Ulta, so you can get 2 of these sponges for $10, which is a steal in my opinion. It's so good. And I saw on their Instagram that I think they're gonna come out with a 4-pack, like a 4-pack of Real Techniques sponges, like of those sponges, the one I just showed you. The one con that I would say for the Real Techniques Beauty Blender, I call it Beauty Blender, it's really the Miracle Complexion Sponge. It's not as sturdy as the Beauty Blender. Like if you wash it with soap and water, it will break down more easily, and it'll, get these little, I don't know if you guys can see that. It won't be as smooth and soft. It'll soak up more product. Washing your brushes and your sponges is very, very important. For me, I like to use soap and water. They do make solids, like those soaps, you know, like Beauty Blender has a Beauty Blender solid that you can use to wash your Beauty Blender, which is really, really good. And washing your brushes is equally important, especially with like Morphe brushes. Their brushes tend to be softer, so I would recommend using a brush solutions like one from Cinema Secrets or something like that, because that one dries really fast and it's very strong vanilla scent, but the solution dries really quickly and you can use your brushes again. And the reason that I bring Morphe brushes up is because the last sponge that I'm going to talk about is by Morphe Brushes, and this is their complexion sponge. I really, really like this sponge. This is what the sponges look like when they're not wet. This sponge is not as sturdy as the Real Techniques one or the Beauty Blender. I would say this one is way more fragile. This one retails for $10 on morphebrushes.com, and I really liked this sponge when I first got it. It was really, really soft and it was like almost a silicone texture, which I appreciated. And this one's a different shape than the other ones because it's more of an egg shape, so it comes kind of like a rounded point at the top here, and then it comes down. This is another way that the sponges are shaped. They usually come in this or the flat one by Real Techniques or the Beauty Blender egg shape. And this one is really good because it also blends out concealer really well and foundation really well and sets your concealer really nicely, especially if you're using a loose powder. And it's really great for that. As you can also see, the coloration has kind of faded because I have washed it so many times. I washed this with soap and water. The color is gonna fade when you wash the Morphe sponges. And that was kind of a turn off for me because the Real Techniques one does not lose color at all, and the Beauty Blender does not lose any color at all when I wash them, but this one does because it was red. I'm assuming that was why the color faded, because I was using soap and water. So you might want to use a cleaner, like a solid. They do have solids on their website by Boulevard Cosmetics. They have a really great one. I highly recommend it for your sponges, and the one I used was the lemongrass one, and they also have a lavender one which retails for I think $18 or $19. Morphe used to make a really great brush cleanser, and it was vanilla scented, but they got rid of it, and that was very sad. They do have one. I don't know how well it works because I've never used it before, but I would highly recommend the Cinema Secrets brush cleanser. The full size one is $36 at Sephora. I know it's very expensive, but it is so worth it. It cleans your brushes and your sponges, and it doesn't make them shed or anything like that. Especially with Morphe brushes, their brushes are very, very soft and they tend to shed when you wash them with soap and water. So I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like. I'll insert a close-up of this brush. This is the Morphe E6 brush. This was a part of their original Elite collection before they revamped the Elite collection. As you can see, I've washed it with soap and water, and there are bristles poking out of it, and it's shedded a lot. That's why I don't recommend washing Morphe brushes in soap and water, because you will lose a lot of the hair on the brush, and then one day you won't have a brush anymore. It'll just be gone. Like when I use Sigma brushes, for instance, I've never seen any shedding on their brushes, and I've washed the Sigma F80 Kabuki brush so much. So I highly recommend Sigma Kabuki brushes to wash with soap and water, but not these, not Morphe brushes, especially their Elite collection. Their brushes in that collection are very fragile. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of different makeup sponges, and I hope you guys have an idea of what kind of sponge would work for you, and I hope you got some tips on how to wash your brushes and sponges as well. And yeah, subscribe if you have not already. All of my social media links are over here as always. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. Those are all some sort of version of Victoria Claire, except for my Snapchat, which is We The Claire X3. I hope you guys are having a lovely day, evening, wherever you guys are in the world, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye! Money brush from Morphe to set down my eyeshadow primer. I'm really loving using my setting powder. Really works better because I feel like if it doesn't smell like fish, then it's good. For the lower lashes, I am using the Buxom Waterproof Lash Mascara. This is the other lower lash mascara.